All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris.
And my name is Josh.
All right, today we're gonna be taking a look and giving you guys the high rev and low rev perspective on the brand new Radical Snapshot. And I'm gonna be comparing that to the Super Clutch and the Brunswick Crown Victory.
And I'll be comparing it to the Max Throw Hybrid and the Radical Torpedo. Today we are here at Bolero Via Linda on a typical house pattern. That lane graph will pop up here. At the end, we will give our honest, unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. So make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you out on the lanes.
Just wrapped up throwing the Radical Snapshot. For me, this one definitely fits in that kind of weak and smooth category. This one had to play a little bit closer to the friction, just because if I didn't quite see enough friction, it never really kind of saw it. When I got it there and was kind of comfortable, it was pretty consistent. What I saw was what I was getting out of this one. Pretty predictable, but I kind of needed to see that friction for it to look really good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Super Clutch and see how that compares. All right, after seeing the Super Clutch go down the lane, these definitely fit in the same spot in the bag. I do think though the Super Clutch is a little easier through the front part of the lane, but with kind of a stronger, more forward shape overall than the Snapshot. The Snapshot's definitely a kind of weaker, need a little bit more friction kind of shape. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Brunswick Crown Victory and see how that compares. Now this one also kind of fits in the same spot. I do think though this is more of a weaker shape overall. Cleaner and kind of weaker. I think it's just as clean as the Supra. I feel like the Snapshot was slightly earlier. I feel like the Crown Victory wanted to get down the lane and not be quite as responsive to the friction as the Super Clutch, but overall kind of still similar kind of rounded shape. All right, final thoughts on the Radical Snapshot. For me, this one, I don't know if it's gonna be that versatile, but I think it's gonna be pretty good at what it's kind of intended to, and kind of a niche kind of ball reaction, if I'm being honest. If there's a little bit too much friction, I feel like this one might not be great. If I needed to kind of be a little bit steeper, if it was a little bit more cliffed, I could find enough oil in the front part of the lane to kind of get it through it. And with it not being super responsive to friction, it kind of blended a little bit more. With it being a little bit niche, I'm gonna have to give this one a meh.
Just threw 10 shots with the new Radical Snapshot. This ball for me was kind of a little funky. It was, symmetrical hybrid, but it was really forward. I know it sounds weird, but I just felt like when I got it to friction, it stood up, but if I didn't get it there, it again just kind of got lazy on me. I felt like the slower I got it, the earlier it hooked, but again, like I tried moving left and it was weird because you'd think it would get through the fronts, but it actually just seemed to hook earlier and never really get off spot. I tried moving a little bit closer to the friction, but it just either insta-hooked or never hooked. Again, the lane is getting a little toasty. I personally thought that this ball would blend that a little bit better, and it just really, again, there is no defined really area to hit down lane because it either went through the face or washed out and never really wanted to get off spot. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Max Throw Hybrid and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Max Throw Hybrid. This ball fits in a similar part of the bag, but it doesn't come with as much surface as the Snapshot, and you could see that just with how easy it was to get through the middle part of the lane. It was able to actually get to, the friction spot down the lane and retained a little bit more energy off the spot, which for what we're bowling on right now definitely gave me a slightly better reaction. Still wasn't amazing, but this is definitely something where I would want to choose over the Snapshot just because I felt like it was a little bit more predictable and an understandable ball motion. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Radical Torpedo and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Radical torpedo. This one for me was kind of similar to overall the shape, but you could just tell that the core is a little bit more juiced up because it was actually able to get off spot, where the snapshot I would get it to the same spot and it would just kind of die there. Where the torpedo again had enough steam, had enough juice to actually make that turn and make the corner. It just felt like it was a little bit more, again, a little bit more powerful off the spot, and I really feel like that helped to actually get it to pocket and really get through the pocket a little bit better. Final thoughts on the Radical Snapshot. This ball for me, again, was kind of in that weird zone where I don't necessarily know when the best time is to throw it, because it's not made for fresh, but I don't see it being good on burn. Kind of in that weird transition, which I was in right now, but it was kind of, just didn't really see the lane the right way. It just kind of got through the fronts and was forward, but didn't really want to retain a whole lot of energy off the spot for me down the lane. With that being said, this ball for me is going to have to be a potato. I did not like the shape going down the lane. It just kind of was one of those balls, again, I've never really seen a ball shaped like this before, but I did not like it. I just felt like it did not give me the miss room that I needed in either direction. Really, again, made me feel trapped in a sense where it didn't really matter where I threw it. I just felt like it wasn't going to do the right thing.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.